In today's episode of Wasteful Government Spending, the city of San Francisco has hired Miss Virgie Tovar as a weight and body image czar. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the city of San Francisco hiring Virgie Tovar as a weight and body image consultant, czar, whatever she might want to call herself and whatever they may want to call her. Now, I did my Googles before this, and I was trying to find her salary. Oh, because that's going to be a $1 million question. How much is this fat person? And I'm not saying fat because that's an insult. I'm saying because she has a book literally called You Have the Right to Remain Fat. How does this person who was really big, really way overweight, obese, why are they being paid anything by a city government to be a weight and body image czar? Listen, if I'm going to pay you to be a weight and body image czar, I want you to have the appearance of chewing steroids for breakfast, but you got to have a clean urine test. You understand what I'm saying? I want you to be looking like you know what you're doing rather than somebody who is obviously unhealthy. Now, let's go to her Instagram post right here. Oh, we got a video of her as well. So, you're going to hear from Miss Tovar, but you see what she says. I'm working with the team at the San Francisco Department of Public Health as a consultant on weight estimate and weight neutrality. Now, You see that right there. And there's also more. I'm not going to show the people's comments. I'm going to just read it here. It says, I'm unbelievably proud to serve the city I've called home for almost 20 years in this way. This consultancy is an absolute dream come true. And it's my biggest hope and belief that weight neutrality will be the future of public health. Weight neutrality, what that mean? When you're obviously not healthy, way overweight, way obese, just say, hey, ain't no big deal. The BMI, all of that, don't worry about that. This is dangerous. I'm not even really worried about how she looks, and don't nobody harass her for that. It's not even about how she looks, because some of y'all like them BBWs, okay? I see some of y'all in the comments. Whenever I do a fat video, y'all in talk, oh, she looks good, ABL. I like it's not even about that. It's about health. I don't want people to be hunched over at 40 years old or croaking at 45, heart disease and hypertension and diabetes. Nobody has time for that, all right? Let's keep on going here. Let's go to the next thing. Now, you see, this is the article. San Francisco hires fat positive. Like I said, I'm not calling her. I'm not just saying fat. She is a fat positive person. San Fran hires fat positive body image expert to work for public health department. So you see it's right there, right in front of your eyes. Virgie Tovar describes the job as an absolute dream come true, as the department yet to clarify what role she will play. All right. But I tell you what, the salary is most certainly going to be there. Now, here's the video that I wanted to watch. I have not seen this. I've seen this thumbnail, and the thumbnail really grabbed me. You know, people always ask me, hey, ABL, how can I get started on YouTube? Well, you know what? You might want to holler at Miss Tovar about making them attractive thumbnails. Let's watch this. But of course, I will link to it in the box if you want to see it and hear it without my commentary. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
CRFI. If you're like many women, you've been to a birthday party or a small office gathering, an event that's meant to bring people together. There's swinging tunes, some adult beverages, and good convo. And then it comes time to cut the cake, and someone decides to ruin everything.
Okay, so how does this happen? How does a cake cutting get ruined? And that hairstyle right there, my. Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. That slice is huge. That slice is bigger than Beyonce's paycheck. Can you cut me half of that?
A cake-related fatphobic incident, or CRFI.
Okay, it's got to be a joke. But at the same time, I think she's serious because she's the fat positive person, right? That's her whole shtick.
Is that moment when it's time to eat delicious cake and it's interrupted by a moralizing impulse. Inevitably, there's always someone at the party who has to declare publicly that their slice is too large and that the person who's cutting the cake, almost invariably a woman, must do some disproportionate amount of labor in order to accommodate their need to feel superior.
You know what? I think California is the birthplace of word salad because Kamala, she, is from Berkeley, Oakland, that type of area. And this lady is being hired by San Fran. That was nothing but word salad. And it's just somebody That was word salad for I'm offended because this is a slice that I would normally eat, and she's saying it's too big, therefore I'm too big. Well, newsflash, that's just called society self-regulating. The slice is too big for her, and it's too big for you. Obviously, we see what's going on here. The evidence is right before us.
Let's take a look.
Can you do a little bit, just like, can you like scrape all the frosting off and cut it in half and give me 2 forks, because I'm sharing. Small, like a little bit more, like tiny, no, like less than what you're smaller, please. Could you just cut my piece into 12 equal symmetrical little pieces and put each one into a tiny little Tupperware?
Man, anybody doing all that? I'm saying people just need to stop eating these big portions. And you know what? That's a big part of the obesity epidemic in this country, is not necessarily the food we eat. That's part of it. I'll talk about that later. But some of y'all biggest problems are these portions. I mean, you go to these chain restaurants, your Longhorn Steakhouse, y'all be having this big, I'm talking about the, what's that, 600-pound life? When they come through with the server trays, you put the drinks on, they got one of them, and it's completely filled to the brim with food. And that's just the first feeding of the day. It's the first of 5 feedings in the day. Listen, you don't get big as a barn to get hosed down outside because you can't get in the shower. You don't get that big without eating a bunch of food. And on a smaller scale, on a not humongous, gigantic scale, when you're still overweight and getting close to obese, you can reduce that and get into a normal level or a fit level by just eating the appropriate portions.
So that I can have a bite for each month of 2018. Thanks.
This is an old video, but it's the same person.
Smaller.
Let's take a step back and view what's happening through a critical feminist lens. CRFIs typically happen in environments where there are primarily or exclusively women. Women are disproportionately negatively affected by diet culture because diet culture maps onto sexism.
Okay, that was word salad for women are judged more on their looks than men are, so they have to be more aware of their physical appearance. And the way that they are aware of that, or the way that they can kind of control that, is by not eating a big piece of cake every day, or if they get a piece of cake, just not getting a tremendously big piece, just getting the appropriate portion. All right. Men are not really judged on our looks in society as much as women are, but we have our own cross to bear. We got the financial part, but that's a different story, and I digress.
Many parts of diet culture, there is a significant performance component. You have to show others that you are being good. Controlling how much you eat is part of what it means to be a, quote, good woman. This kind of behavior is a way for people to keep other people in check through food moralizing, surveillance, and policing.
That's not a bad thing to keep people in check. Again, the society regulating itself. It's not a bad thing.
These are the mechanisms that are at the core of diet culture and weight control. The idea that you can position yourself as superior to others through self-control and self-denial is super sexist. CRFIs have a history of creating a hierarchy among women and ultimately in maintaining misogynist expectations.
Okie dokie, that's enough of that word salad right there. Good grief. I mean, I've never had so much word salad in my life. I got enough to fill up my whole refrigerator times 15. I'm gonna need a whole garage to put all that word salad in. No bags, nothing, just straight up leaves on the concrete all the way to the top. But I'll link to that video in the box if you really want to see it again for some reason. But as I close, I want to say this. San Francisco, California, what are you guys spending money on? You hired the person who made that video to work for the city doing that same type of stuff for what? For what? Like, what is that going to accomplish? Allowing people who are obviously unhealthy, overweight, and some of these girls are young, man. These girls are like in their 20s already that big. That's not healthy, man. It's not even about how they look, because again, some of y'all like that, and I know who you are, so you don't even comment, don't say nothing. Some of y'all like that. It's not even about that. It's not about looks or what someone finds appealing. It's about, hey, we got a problem in this country with health. People are going to the hospital for this and that and the third. They on drugs. They got this, take care of that. A lot of our issues would be solved if we just became healthy. That's why we got RFK, make America healthy again. If we could just ban some of these ridiculous foods and not eat so much of the food, not eat 5,000 calories a day for no reason when you sit on your hind parts and watch TV, if we could control some of that, we'd be a lot better off as a country, more productive, happier, healthier, live longer and more fruitful lives. What's wrong with that? But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that San Francisco hiring Virgie Tovar to be a weight and body image czar is it good use of taxpayer money, or is it a bad use, or not really a big deal? Who cares, right? It's just them in San Francisco wasting money yet again, as they always do. But whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is an example of wasteful government spending. That's all. Look, if this person wanted to identify as a fat czar or a fat coach or something like that on YouTube, then hey, go ahead. If you can have a following of people that like what you put out and they want to subscribe to you, they want to pay for whatever you got, hey, go ahead, knock yourself out. But when the taxpayer money is involved, that's when I would speak up. If I was out there in San Francisco, I would speak up, because it's like, hey, what are you doing? You're taking my money forcefully and spending money on this, which will not help me or anyone else at all. So why are we doing it? Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.